and this is the truth about mental illness. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest mental health and wellness journey of our lifetime. And I am so excited that you're here. I'm really excited that I get to be the one to bring it to you. Before I get into my little shout outs, I just want to say that one, this is going to be a quick video. That's the first thing. But two, I've talked about how this space is where we can show up and be our authentic selves, which also means that we can expect to be and feel affirmed and empowered in this space. So I've been in a bit of a little funk lately, if you will. Like, I'm looking out the window and it's like totally overcast. So that is not helping out with my mood at all right now. So maybe because this is a two-way street, you know what I'm saying? I've already done the call to action in one of the previous, videos about doing something after you, watch this video. So for today, I want to say, drop some encouragement. Am I getting this right? Am I right on track with what it is I feel like we need to be, having these little brief interactions and engagements about regarding mental health? Yes, we have so much more to go. Oh my gosh, I feel like the content that I have at this point is quite feeling endless. So drop some comments, in the chat below, and definitely forward this, onward. Give me something I can ride with, right? What's affirming in this space for you? What's empowering in this space for you? Help me make sure that I am on track with you. Always going to shout out my caregivers. Listen, believe this or not, one of my favorite caregivers just left my house before I got on here to record today's segment. And then in addition to that, before I could even hit record, one of my other favorite caregivers just reached out, and we, chopped it up for a little bit. So shout out to my caregivers. Love you. Y'all are doing amazing work. I know that it is not easy by any means. So just God bless you and thank you so much. This space, again, also for my ally angels, or angel allies, or ally angels. I don't know which way we're going to go with that. I'm gonna figure it out. You definitely have input in that. Maybe I'll post something so that you can make some comments, but tell me which one you like best. Ally angels, angel, allies. I don't necessarily have a preference. I think whatever just rolls off my tongue is what I just kind of stick with in this space. All right, so I said that this is going to be a quick one, and it is. I'm going to just quickly share the difference between mental health and mental illness. All right. So I get this statement a lot, which is, oh, Dr. K, I do not have mental health. And I think, you don't have mental health? Do you have emotions? And the answer is always yes. And I say, do you have cognitions or thoughts? And the answer I always get is, yes, I do. Okay. And then do you have behaviors? And yeah, actually, yeah, I do. I say, oh, then guess what? You have mental health. So we all have mental health. We all do not have mental illness. There's a difference there, right? So having mental illness makes it more difficult for an individual's ability to live, to laugh, and to love across all these different areas of responsibility and environments that they may be required to engage in on a regular basis. Okay, so mental health, yes, we all have it. We all have emotions. We all have thoughts and cognitions. We all have behavior. Yes? Okay. Also, all three of those engage our mind, our body, and our spirit. So that's pretty cool as well when it comes to mental health. Now, with mental illness, all of that still exists, except one might find it more difficult to live, to laugh, and to love inside of all those environments and responsibilities of life that equate who we are as emotional beings. So, y'all know I like notes, which I obviously didn't use, but I'm going to put this down in my little remote control down here because I'm about to bring a prop into the space, y'all. Like, yes, we are not even like 2 whole weeks swinging into this social media campaign, and already Dr. K is sitting up here with a prop. Now, this prop is an umbrella, and you can see right now, I'm going to tell you something funny. You know it to be true if you've ever held an umbrella, right? Is that little Velcro piece that is what's keeping this thing together. But for the sake of the fact that I didn't want this to accidentally open up and pop me in the face during this recording, I put put like a little headband on here just so, you know what I'm saying, keep us tight. Let's keep it tight. All right. So what is this umbrella? This umbrella represents brain disorders. So I'm just going to say it represents my brain disorder, or maybe your brain disorder, or a brain disorder of someone that you care about. That's what this umbrella represents. All right. So because this is a brain disorder, we've already talked about in previous videos that this is something that's not going away, right? Remember when I was complaining like, oh my gosh, why do I have to live the rest of my life like this? So this is the brain disorder of mine, and it's something that I have to regularly filter my thoughts and my emotions and my feelings and everything through. So I got to use this as my filter. Okay. So that means that my whole hand over here is completely taken up with these brain disorders. Now, what's on this side of the table? It's my life, right? So I'm just going to tick off some things that we may have in common, or some that are pretty common across, you know, different walks of life. You may have a partner. You may have an animal that you're responsible to care for. You may have children. Oh my gosh, I just put an animal ahead of children. It's fine. I love dogs, by the way. So you may also have work. You may have education. You may have your faith community. You may have volunteer work. Maybe you are an athlete. You like to do intramural sports, if you will. And so anything else that just equates the beauty of your life that you are part of, that you're responsible to showing up to with other people, or an environment that that you are called to be in particular. All right, so that's what we have on this side. So we are still required, because of these brain disorders, to function at some capacity with these brain disorders through the filter of a brain disorder, but still be able to function at some wellness level of capacity through all these other areas of our life. Can you start to see how hard this is? Because I cannot put this down. This thing is with me. It's here. It's not going anywhere. But also is the rest of my life. I have all these other things that are really important to me, that I like to engage in as much as possible, you know, as well. And so one thing I didn't tell you about this umbrella that represents your brain disorders is that I did not tell you how you have to carry it. That's one thing that I did not say, right? So this is the way I'm holding it now, and I still have to manage all these areas of my life. However, because I didn't say how to carry it, what if now I'm saying, go ahead and carry that brain disorder any way you want to. All right, so now we're going to flip this over. I had to use two hands. I used to twirl. I should have been able to do that, right? Hold on. Yes, one hand. Okay, so look at this umbrella. What are you noticing already? There's a hole right here. What is this hole for? It's so that you can carry it in a different way than you've been carrying it this whole time, possibly. So before, brain disorders, this is the only way I was carrying it. Now, brain disorders, I can carry it this way. I'm going to put my hand in here because it's a brain disorder and I can't let it go. I still got to be responsible to it and for it and manage it. But I also love all these other things that I'm engaged in my life too. But I just can't let this go. It won't let me go is probably what I should say. It won't let me go. However, by being able to carry it in a different way, guess what that does? That gives me a little bit more autonomy on this side or this part of my life while I'm still managing, you know, these brain disorders. So what could be possibly on this hand? I'm sure you guys are going to guess and get it right. You're super smart. Maybe I am engaged in self-care. I've identified some self-care. Maybe I'm engaged in that. Maybe I have a counselor. Maybe I take psychotropic medication, so I have a prescriber. It could be a nurse. It could be a psychiatrist, whomever it is that prescribes that. Maybe I decide, you know, every year I'm going to take a vacation around this time of year. And then how about this? What about this one right here? This one's going to be good. Y'all ready for this one? This one is, what if I actually take better care of myself by knowing what my limits are when it comes to any one of these areas of my life that I am responsible to? What could that look like? That could look like getting off work on time. That could look like taking a vacation to be off work. That could be planning time to be with, you know, your family, be with your friends, be with your faith community. I don't know. You make it whatever you want to make it. All I'm doing is saying that this is the brain disorder and this is the autonomy that you now get because you have decided and recognized that this The way that you feel, if it's a bad day, is not the end all be all, because you have some supports that can help you carry that weight of that brain disorder, the impact of that brain disorder a little bit differently. So while the scales may not always be completely even, that's okay, because as long as you've got some way to address your overall emotional health by the way you're carrying these brain disorders differently, that is really, really, really important to recovery when it comes to mental illness. And I know we don't talk about recovery of mental illness a lot, but I'm just going to give you what I call it, or what I think it looks like, at least for me. And that is that recovery from mental illness does not mean that I no longer have these brain disorders. It does not mean that I'm completely cured and I never have to, experience this, right? Because I still have not put this down. It is the way that I'm carrying it, right? The C.S. Lewis quote that I gave in a previous video about the weight and how you carry it. Okay. So not letting it go, just feeling better about how I respond. That to me is what equates recovery with mental illness. So the brain disorders is not going away. However, the way that I decide to respond, the way that I'm able to identify and recognize my symptoms and talk about them with my counselor, with my provider, or even with a friend to say, you know what, today sucked. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I felt like this, I felt like that, I felt like this, I felt like that. Or today was a really great day. I felt like the way that I've been able to manage, my symptoms went really, really well. So this was a quick one. I hope it was helpful for you. I can't say that I'm not going to bring any more props into this space because the likelihood that I will is quite high, just because of how I know myself to be. And I really just want everybody to be able to walk away from an engagement like this and have just a more concrete, anchored, cemented idea of exactly what the difference between mental health and mental illness looks like. So until the next time, and I promise I'm going to get to this. You may have already seen it by the time I do this video. So unto the nations.